today what we're going to do is we're going to start word problems. And we're going to be using graphing, substitution, and elimination when we do these word problems, right? The first type of word problem that we're going to learn is called cost and count, right? On Tuesday, we're going to do perimeter. Wednesday, we're going to do distance. Thursday, we're going to do area. So we're going to do a different type of word problem every day. To me, this is probably the hardest one for students. All right, that's why we're doing it first. You're also going to notice that there's going to be a ton of homework tonight. I don't want you to do all of it. I don't want you to do all of it. If you could set them up and just not solve them, I'm okay with that. Okay? And so what's going to happen is tonight you're going to have, I don't know, 10 problems to do. I know. If you can set them up, you're fine. And then on Tuesday, when you come perimeter, when we do perimeter, you're only going to do 2 problems. So you're going to do those 2 problems and then finish some of your cost and count. And then on Wednesday, you have 2 problems and finish your cost and count. And then Thursday area, you got 2 more problems and then finish your cost and count. Do you get that? But I'm starting with cost and count first, right? So no worries, no, don't get uptight by this, okay? So we're going to do cost and count. Now, you're going to notice I'm going to put something in Schoology that says steps to solve word problems, okay? You might want to write this on your notes. We're going to go step by step. And then, again, I'm going to have this in Schoology for you. When you solve word problems, this is what you're going to do. Yep, and some of you are taking pictures of it. I got it on the whiteboard. That's fine, okay? Otherwise, it's going to be in Schoology, okay? So steps to solve the word problem. The first thing we're going to do is we're going to read the whole problem. A lot of students, they don't get what the problem is talking about. They're not visualizing it, and then they just forget it. They just crash and burn, okay? So let's read the problem. Who would like to read it? All right, please.
A student sells small and large greeting cards at a craft fair. A small card costs $3 per card and large cards cost $5 per card. The student collects $35 for selling a total of 45 cards. How many of each type of card does the student sell?
Okay, thank you. Now, I've noticed some of you, this is great. You took a picture of this and you put it in your notes. Okay, so do your split screen. That would be awesome because then it's all right there. Some of you are rewriting it and then you're showing your work in it. Some of you are typing it. That's all great. If you put it somewhere with that note, that's awesome. Okay, so good job. All right, so we read the problem. What's going on with the problem? What's the main idea? Yeah.
They're selling cards and they've gotten a total of $95 for 25.
Very good. They're selling different kinds of cards, right? Some of them are small, some of them are larger, and I've got a total cost of the cards, right? So you're going down buying that friend of yours a birthday card, and they got all kinds of cards. Okay. Now the second step says define the variables. Now you're going to have an X and a Y, and you're going to find out how to define them, and it's usually found at the end of the problem. Not always, but most of the time what you're trying to find is at the very last sentence of the problem. So if you look at it, it says, how many of each type of card did the student sell? Okay? So I'm going to define my variables. I'm going to have an X equals, and I'm going to have a Y equals. What do we want to assign X? X equals, what about the cards? How many were sold? Now, I've got 2 types. Do you see? This is the kicker. How many of each type of card? So X would be the number of small cards sold, right? So X, number of small cards sold, and Y would be number of large cards sold. Okay? So you got to read the problem and find out what they want. If they just said number of cards sold, then yeah, it'd be number of cards. But it says number of each type of card. Okay, so you got to really get into that critical reading. And what I have kids do, they literally will underline this stuff and circle the words to try to understand what are they asking me to find, right? Now, when you do X and Y, some kids will go X equals small cards. Well, what about the small cards? Is it the cost of them? Is it the number of them? Is it the color of them? You have to be really specific when you define your variables. Okay, so make sure you do that. Otherwise, it's like, what are you trying to find? All right, so step 2 is done. We need to go on to step 3. Step 3 says I'm going to make 2 equations, okay? Now, when we do these 2 equations, one of the equations is going to be count. And I actually want you to write count. And the other type is going to be cost. Some people say value, but I think count and value sounds weird. That's why I go count and cost. I think it sounds better, okay? As the name of the word problem, right? Cost and count. Aha, yeah. So now let's talk about the count of cards, right? What do you think that equation is going to look like? Take a look at the problem. What do you think? Yeah. Excellent. I've got 25 cards here. So I'm going to take the number of small cards and I'm going to add the number of large cards, and that's going to give me 25 cards. Now, why would I put it in that form as opposed to 25 equals y plus x? Or 25 minus x equals y? Why do you think I would put it in that form? Yeah. It's in standard form. It's all ready for elimination, isn't it? Yeah. So that's why I put it in that form. Probably the best form there, right? Okay, now I've got cost or value, all right? What is a small card worth? $3. So I'm going to write 3x because each card is worth $3, right? Okay, plus, how about a large card? $5. So it's going to be 5y equals 95. Why 95? Because that is the total of all those cards, right? Okay, questions? Okay, now what we're going to do is we're going to solve this using graphing. It's going to be the hardest, and I'm going to teach you how to kind of cheat too, okay? So what I want you to do is on this first equation here, I want you to put it in slope-intercept form. So how do I do that? Subtract x, y equals negative x plus 25. What's my m? Over 1, what's my b? 25, good. My other equation, subtract 3x, 5y equals negative 3x. I'm sorry, 3 over 3x plus 95. Divide by 5, absolutely. Y gives me negative 3/5 x plus 19. Right. That looks kind of messy, doesn't it? Yeah. What would have been a better way to solve this problem? Why elimination? Absolutely. So sometimes I'm going to ask you to solve it with graphing, and it's going to be kind of messy and yucky, okay? But you can also use elimination to help you solve it, okay? So let's go ahead and do that. We could solve this with graphing, but I think what we're going to do is let's go ahead and just go to elimination. Right? And I've got x plus y equals 25, and I've got 3x plus 5y equals 95, right? And how do I solve that now? Okay, so I'm going to multiply this one by 3. So 3x plus 3y equals 75. 3x plus 5y equals 95. And what do? Subtract. Pretty easy? Yeah, why is this easy for you? Because you learned it. It's review. You were just tested on it, and you did really well, didn't you? Yeah, absolutely. Okay, so let's subtract. 3x minus 3x is 0. I eliminated it, right? 3y minus 5y gives me negative 2y. 75 minus 95 is negative 20. And then negative 2. Y gives me 10. Am I done? Y. We're going to find x. So I'm going to take one of those other equations. X plus y equals 25. X plus 10 gives me 25. Subtract 10. X gives me 15. Am I done? No. Step 4 was to solve the system using substitution, elimination, or graphing, right? It was all ready for elimination. Not graphing, was it? Okay, and then I need to answer the question with the label. Very good. So I've got 15 what? Small cards. And I've got 10 large cards. Done. Not so bad, is it? These problems aren't bad if you set them up and you follow the steps. Okay? Moo. All right. So what we're going to do now is this is it for notes. I'm going to do one problem of word problems every day. And then I'm going to start with the worksheet that I'm going to give you. You're going to do nothing out of the book. It's all going to be a packet. You're going to notice it's in Schoology. So if you will, open up your Schoology, and we're going to start going through the homework.